Thank you. Namaskar. First of all, I would like to congratulate National Council of Education Research and Training, Regional Education, Bhopal, for organizing such a webinar. And as I know, you are from last years conducting the same webinar, sorry, seminar in the form, but that due to the present condition, so you converted into webinar, and I am taking advantage of this webinar. I, Dr. Satyendra Gupta, Professor and Dean, School of Education, Galgotias University, Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh, along with my student, Miss Swati Malik. She is student of Bachelor of Education, B.Ed, batch 2020-22. Just 1 month ago, she joined us in the university. And when I got the invitation from the RI Bhopal, so I consulted with all the students. She agreed and she did a lot of work for the presentation of this uh, topic. So the topic which we have taken, that is ethnomathematics, Indian culture and mathematics curriculum. And first of all, I would like to invite Swati also in this presentation. So she has joined us. So Swati, would you like to tell something about the topic?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please
Thank you
start.
so much, sir. A very good noon to everyone. I'm Swati Malik. So, let's start our presentation. Our presentation topic is Ethnomathematics, Indian Culture and Mathematics Curriculum. So, moving ahead, what is ethnomathematics? Ethnomathematics term was given by Brazilian mathematician Ubiratan D'Ambrosio in 1990, and he divided this term in three words: ethno, mathema and tics. So, the first word, ethno. Ethno, in simple words, we can say that is about nation, people, or culture. How different nations have their different cultures, and every culture have different languages, different codes of behavior, and different symbols. Second word is mathema. Mathema means which is learned or what one gets to know, like measuring and classifying. And TICS word is same as the technique word, a method of doing some task. So the conclusion of ethnomathematics is a field of study that examines the relationship between the culture and mathematics. It also studies how mathematics concepts has been used in different cultures, like how so-called non-literate people, children of certain age groups, and tribal groups use mathematics in their daily life. There been a misconception that mathematics is a culture-free discipline, but in my opinion, every learner got affected by his or her culture or society, and he or she gets to learn about various disciplines through their society only. And mathematics has also very deep root in our culture. I would like to start with the Indus Valley civilization. The most ancient use of mathematics in our culture has been found in Indus Valley civilization, also called as Saraswati River civilization, in the time period of 2600 BC to 1600 BC. The cities of Indus Valley civilization, mainly Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, were very properly planned city, and the measurements were very accurate and precision was of high degree. Like, they also used some scales for the measurement, and their scales were divided in 10 equal parts. So somehow we can say that decimal system was also got originated in the Indus Valley civilization. Even the weight of each the brick used in the construction was 28 grams, and those bricks were equally proportioned in the ratio of 4 ratio 2 ratio 1. And their bathrooms, their drainage system, and their houses were also constructed with the proper and accurate measurements. Moving ahead, In Vedic Asia, between the time period of 1500 BC to 500 BC, Vedi was used in the sacrificial purposes used in the yagnas, and Vedi means fire altars. It is used for the sacrificial purposes, and for that there were some rules to build the Vedis, and that rules were mentioned in the Sulba Sutra that was written by Bodhyana. There were many rules, but I would like to mention one rule, that is, all the Vedis should be of same size but different shapes, like circling a square or squaring a circle. And we are not talking about the circle or square shape only. We are talking about the tortoise shape or any other shape used for the Vedi purpose. Moving ahead, our religious literatures have many mathematical details too. Like Goswami Tulsidas wrote Hanuman Chalisa in 16th century, and there is a shlok in Hanuman Chalisa, Juk Sehast Jojan Par Bhanu, Lilyutahi Madhur Fal Janu. In that shlok, he mentioned that Lord Hanuman wants to eat the sun because he thought it's a fruit, and he traveled a distance to conquer that fruit, and that distance was mentioned by in this shlok Yug Sehastra Jojan. Yug means one yug, that is equal to 12,000 divine years. Sehastra means 1,000 and Jojan means 8 miles. And by multiplying it, we get 96 million miles. And when we convert it into kilometers, we get 15 crore 36 lakh kilometer, and the distance measured by the NASA using the latest technology, it was 14 crore 96 lakh kilometer. So we can say that this figure is very similar, and Goswami Tulsidas calculated that distance before around the time of 16th century. So yes, mathematics roots are very deep and very extensive in our culture. Moving ahead, temples are important part of our culture, and geometry is one of the most important elements of our Hindu temples, like Kendriya Mahadev Temple in Khajuraho. This These temples are laid out in symmetrical and layered around the core of the temple called the Garbhagriha. The shikara of the temple, shikara means spire of the temple, raises above the Garbhagriha. This structure convey core belief of mathematical principles, and it also used the grid layout plan. Second example is Virupaksha temple. Virupaksha temple is also a good example of mathematics usage. Geometric symmetric is created through the outer faces of the walls, and this temple was built before 7th century on the banks of Tungabhadra river, and this temple was influenced by Kailash Parvat, and it is a mathematical wonder that prove India's advancement in mathematics field in those times. Meenakshi Temple of Madurai is also one of the many examples of the usage of geometry in those times. Now, various methods which can be helpful in creating a meaningful connection between our Indian culture and mathematics curriculum. For that, this is the correct time to integrate the mathematics history of our culture on the primary level of education, and we should also integrate other nations mathematics history also at secondary and senior secondary level, and we should also relate our mathematics curriculum with the real life problems too, because I felt that some students have a phobia of mathematics. They felt like they are very good in academic mathematics, but they have no idea how to use that academic mathematics in their real life problems too. So for that, we have to create the and we have to integrate the mathematics laboratory in our formal institutions too. That's all from my side. I want to conclude here now. Any questions, please?
Definitely, the mathematics practical part, we can also train the student in our mathematics laboratory. There are some examples we have mentioned here, okay, how we can give the practical knowledge of the mathematics in the mathematics laboratory, as well as our traditional knowledge of the mathematics. So these are the some pictures we have chosen here. And here we also recommended that in our curriculum, there are so many factors which when we decide the curriculum. So ethnomathematics has left in our Indian curriculum of the mathematics from class 1st to 12th. I think there one of the reason is the we can say Dharm Nirpeksh Bharat, or the knowledge should not be with any religion. So that's why we have dropped the idea of the Vedic mathematics in our traditional curriculum, which is designed by our practitioners. So, but we recommend that these parts should be included in our curriculum, so we can connect our present generation with the past knowledge of the mathematics. So, in our paper, we have mentioned and recommended some parts. So now,
Okay, sir. Thank you. And
thank you, ma'am.